I am really excited today. I have one of my good friends coming out. She's going to spend some time with Rudnik and me. She's got a lot of experience. She's someone that helped a lot with Rudnik when I was working to get him where he is today. So she's actually coming to put some time in with him in the saddle and kind of just work on some things, see where he's at, see where we might need to work and improve. I'm really excited because I've been wanting to do this since last June, but because of all of Rudnik's health issues and kind of just trying to figure out what's going on with him, why he seemed so uncomfortable under saddle, whether it was the saddle or his body. I'm really excited because now that he's back in shape and he doesn't seem to be uncomfortable under saddle, I'm really excited to put this time in with him and kind of see where he's at. Because the last time she worked with him, she was actually able to do some pretty impressive stuff with him. So he learns a lot, I learn a lot, and I'm really excited to see how this goes. Hello. What are you up to? You're gonna do some work today. I know you're not gonna be happy about it. It almost like it was spring with this weather. Looks like a little bit of a Mustang right now, dude. She's in charge now, buddy.
You're still startling because it's who you are.
Yeah.
I remember after like a year of us working with him, and I was like, why didn't I just always be like? But he never like jumps out of his skin. He just always flinches.
And then something that you're like, he's gonna spook at this for sure, and he's just like cool as a cucumber.
Like he startles a lot, but he doesn't.
Spook.
It's not usually enough to unseat you. Like the worst I ever saw is when I think his tail caught in the barbed wire on Shane's arena fence, and he
Bifted it.
definitely jumped to the side and he came off.
Yep, that was the first time I ever came off of him.
Yeah. Cheers. Nice crossover. Yeah, we could teach you to line dance, couldn't we? So, is there anything specific you're wanting to work on? Like, we're just doing a check-in, basically?
Kind of just a check-in, and if you wanted to maybe do some work with his walk-to-trot transitions, and just kind of so I know that, you know, if he does throw a head or something, whether it's going to be me or... Because he's been... Cairo's given him the seal of approval, and his body work's been done, and... Move into the corner over here.
You're a little taller than I remember. Yes, you're a snorty fellow, aren't you? Well, you're definitely narrower than the last time I rode you.
Oh yeah. He's growing into his big boy body. He definitely seems to be moving a lot better since all his body work. See, that was a very nice transition there, buddy.
He does this like hop, I forgot, he does this hop into the trot.
It throws me off all the time.
It's like startling, but it's not a bad thing. It's like he's all fun. He did stop by mommy. Forgot how comfy this saddle is.
I know, I love it. I'm like, I don't know why I ever thought I hated it.
I didn't ride him it much, but I was like I have my river saddle, I was like, I keep it as a massage saddle. I was like, I'm not really gonna buy saddles for one horse.
Yeah.
And you were looking and I was in a fit running so nicely.
That's why I was so like.
And it worked for you too, like it helped your leg get underneath you.
Oh yeah. That's why I was so upset when he started throwing his head. I was like, please don't tell me you've outgrown this one too.
Yeah, and if anything, as he was losing weight, it should have fitted better, not worse.
Yeah, exactly. And then when I tried the pads and stuff, because I rode him bareback, and I was like, okay, well, he's fine now. But then when I tried all the pads and everything, and he was still behaving that way. And then a couple weeks later, I got on him bareback, and he was still throwing his head. I was like, okay, this is definitely a body thing then.
Yeah, so I remember this about him in general. He does tend to tip his head to the outside. Like he's going like this down the line. You want his head turned to the inside.
Yeah.
And so this whole time I'm riding him, I'm using my inside leg. Every time I sit, my inside leg is going on.
Okay.
And that's encouraging his rib cage to shape towards the inside. And I'm holding my outside rein. I'm just feeling his mouth. He's gentle. I'm not pulling, I'm just holding. And then I'm using my inside rein just to squeeze and release. The same. The same as I'm squeezing with my inside leg.
He looks like he's moving really nice.
So even now, it's not wanting to respond to the inside leg.
Yeah.
And he doesn't get offended when I ask.
What was that?
He kicked up dust and the sun caught it.
I'm like, that looks very like dressage-y almost.
But again, he startles, but he doesn't do
Yeah.
much about it.
He's just, oh shit, oh, we're okay.
Yeah, the whole
It's like his body reacts before his brain understands what's happening.
Good boy, that's a nice head down. Yeah, have a good stretch.
That's when I'm like, you look really good in the Western.
Here's the good peanut roller western. For the first we know. And when he's doing that, it's a good sign because it means he's relaxing enough to stretch his back out.
Yeah.
And when he does this, you don't want to throw your reins away. You want to let them like slide through your fingers and still keep a touch of contact still. Because what he's actually doing is like reaching down into the contact.
Yeah.
And he is 100% doing it to stretch his back. He's feeling good stretching down. Yeah, I know. You want to stop by mom every time.
I promise I have no carrots, dude.
In terms of his ability to bend, of course the answer is more circles. And as you're going around that circle, the things I just talked about, using your inside leg to push his rib cage out, like you want his body shaped like a C, right?
Yeah.
Curving to the inside. And his head, his nose tipped to the inside. So I'm like, watch my heel, I'm squeeze, release, and he might confuse that sometimes with going into a trot, right? But he's trying to be responsive, trying the things that he thinks we're asking for, and it's not always the right answer.
But he's trying. He'll remember that spot for the rest of his life now. Maybe it's just trying to get that big booty going.
So there's your answer to that. If you don't want him to hop into the trot him, let him go 5 strides, walk him, and then ask. See, there he did.
Yeah.
I had to give him a little extra. I feel like he's doing it there more in that corner because he's distracted by you.
Yeah.
Like before he gets into, okay, we're walking for 5 minutes feeling, you can basically just think of it as I changed my mind.
Yeah.
So, trot him, walk him, well, I changed my mind, we're going to try again. And the more of those you do, the less reactive he's going to be.
The little bunny hops.
I don't even have to ride your trots, they're so smooth.
Oh, I know. His sitting trot is so nice.
This is the most I've ridden all winter. And you got some pep.
Hey, Trip.
Does it work?
Anytime I see you on him, I realize that, or I feel like he's more experienced than I am, and I'm like, he moves so nicely under you.
Yeah, but I have like 10 years of
Yeah.
totally riding lessons under my belt too. I've taken recently, but like some of those basics are so hammered into me.
Yeah.
And like, they were in my teenage years too, which is where a lot of, like, you're so receptive to learning then, and it
Yeah.
really like just molded how I ride for the rest of my life.
That's fair.
Um,
Yeah, I guess I've never actually taken like lessons except for that one, so I know how to stay on.
and we're all on our own journey.
Yeah.
I always say comparison is the thief of joy, right?
Yeah.
It's very easy to watch someone else ride your horse or do something
Yeah.
and
Yeah, I should just be comparing myself where I am now versus where I was rather than other people.
and if I'm making it look easy, it's not.
No.
Like, I'm out of breath and I'm sweating right now.
Yeah.
Because he's a lot of work. So yes, he might look good under me, but I am working hard
Oh,
to
yeah.
get him to look good. Like, if I were to watch his back, I would see like he's still a little wiggly, and the bend is probably the biggest issue. Not issue, but thing to work on,
Yeah.
right? And for that, let's see what happens if I do carry that dressage whip, because he doesn't really respond much to the leg.
Yeah.
Like, I can bump him and he doesn't really react. And I want him to move off the leg.
Yeah.
Let's just show it to him.
Yeah, because it comes from the front, so he's not like, what's that?
Yeah. But he's not generally reactive.
Try not to sweat too much when you come free.
So it's just shoulder. Honestly, isn't carrying this right now because he's kind of watching it, and I'm just kind of wiggling it in his eyesight here
Yeah.
on purpose. I'm moving out of my leg, and he's kind of shaking his body away a little bit from it. I'm still using my heel to ask him to move that rib cage around, right?
Actually, I haven't used that since I started riding again, and that's now that you're using it, I'm remembering how much better he was with that when I used it on the shoulder.
You actually used to ride with it a lot, didn't you?
Yeah.
And you can hold your reins in one hand too. And just touch behind your feet. Touch there. And then you see how this rib cage is,
Yeah.
his head is coming around a little bit. And like when you want them to bend around the rib cage, it's not about the reins. You can't. He could have his head turned right around and still
Yeah.
his rib cage straight, right? The bend comes from the middle of the body.
Yeah.
So we can ride with one hand like this on a decent horse like him, right? You know it's not going to take off, right? And we can use tap with our hand here, because the other option is to be holding your rein and be doing this,
Yeah.
which is a little harder to do. But if you let your rein out a little bit, you can do that. But I almost prefer riding that with one hand. Of course, do I know that is not going to take off because it allows me to bring it right vertical even back with my leg. And I mean, we're just doing this at the walk, right? We're just circling as we're going. Also, riding with one hand makes you more aware of how long your reins are. It's much easier to change the length of your reins without even realizing it. When you're riding with two hands, if your reins change length, you'll know it. You'll suddenly like get less. Oh, you can try. That was already better than that long side. Didn't have his head outside as much. And now I'm just using it to tap his shoulder to remind him not to steer his shoulders out. For a lot of horses, just carrying the whip is enough. And of course, if they ever do spoon go take off or something, you can always just drop the whip, right? I remember as a teenager having a horse who was taking off, and the instructor had yelled, "Drop the whip, drop the whip!" like 3 times before the message was received by my brain. And my hand was like, "Oh right, I can just drop the whip." Because on a young or energetic horse who is spoofing the whip, who's in the flight stage, a whip is not going to help.
No.
And did you say you've cantered him this year?
Not really. Well, I mean, not this year for sure, but I did not really since June. But yeah, but if you can get him to it.
We did full circle. I don't want to sweat him up, so
Yeah.
I just kind of felt like he was going to offer it, so I thought, let's see.
He's moving so nicely though.
I cut the corners just because it's not a very big arena.
Yeah.
And he hasn't cantered much, so he's lacking the muscle to go around corners. And I recall one of the things you and Karen are working on too is him keeping going through the corners.
Yep.
Like he likes to stop at the canter when he feels like he's done enough. And so by making it more of a circle than the square, it's easier for him to corner. Yes, look. Yes.
He was
like standing on the fence and just being like sliding the leg over.
like, I wonder if I can do it,
Yeah.
and just do it.
I mean, based on how reactive he was to so many other things,
Yeah.
He didn't like we had done our homework, but you still never know, right?
Yeah.
But like when I got on and you led me around, he's like, cool.
Yep.
I was like, okay, you might not be as hard as I thought you were gonna be.
This is all the other stuff. You know, don't touch his feet, but you can ride him.
Yeah, right. Yeah, because it wasn't that long after we started working together on his feet that, that I saw him, was it?
No, really, not really at all.
I remember like when we met, your goal was like just to sit on him that year, and like you ended up like being walk trot that year.
Yep. Oh, and I was like fresh back in the saddle too. So I was basically where he was.
Yeah.
And I had never really ridden English before we met, so I was still learning how to ride properly.
And what motivated you to do that?
Well, I grew up with Western saddles, and I just liked how English felt.
Yeah.
I liked being able to dress up a little bit to ride.
Yeah. I just like how much more contact you have.
Yeah.
As long as you have a decent seat. I grew up English, so I never like had the Western to hang on to and hold me in. I've also been in a Western and had a horse bronc and got pummeled in the stomach by a horn. And I in that moment I wished I was riding English because I could have ejected off the horse easily. But instead I was held in by the saddle with a horse who was putting her head right down to the ground. And I couldn't get her to stop. I mean, it was a good 5 or 6 pummels to the stomach before I was able to get her disengage enough to get off.
Well, and that was it too. I wanted to do like jumping, even just for fun, and I'm like, from experience, it's not fun to jump with a horn.
Yeah. I don't hear many coaches out this way. Like there's lots of Western stuff, but is there any English coaches out this way?
Not that I've heard of yet, but I haven't really looked around a whole lot yet either. Yeah, maybe someday I'll be able to afford some, like maybe even just like a once a month kind of thing.
Yeah. Or do save up and do 4 weekly lessons in 1 month to really build on the skills. Like spreading them out makes financial sense, but
it just doesn't stick the same way.
being able to like build on things week after week will then solidify things which you can then take forward and work on for months. I've always said like for a horse 3 rides in a row, preferably day after day, maybe with a day break if you have to, right? But if you're working on something with a horse and you can get 3 good rides on in a row, even if they're not long, they will retain things a lot better than if you ride them 3 times over 9 days. I'm sure she has sweets for you after this.
Actually, I lied. I didn't know I lied, but I have carrots in the bag.
Well, we're at least 10 pounds.
Okay. So that should be about 3 carrots.
He's already pretty sweaty. I don't think I want to counter him the other way because he did so well to the left. And he picked up the correct lead both times as well. And I feel like if I go to the right and he doesn't pick up the correct lead, I'm not going to be able to do that. And I'm going to want to keep trying, and then he's going to get too sweaty. It might sour him on that. So I'm really impressed he picked it up easily. He kept it up and he picked up the lead even though I had to ask 3 times around because he did break a couple times.
Yeah.
We got that final lap where he kept going when I asked him to, which is really good because I know that's a weak spot for him, like wanting to keep cantering. So I think that's a good note to leave that on.
Yep. And I've got that blanket from you that we can throw on him too. Yeah.
Okay.
Throw that on him for a little bit.
Yeah, it's sunny today. We can hang out for a bit and let that absorb.
Good job, buddy.
You thought you are very, very good. He's like, I can't see behind me.
Hey, did you get a good workout? Did you get a workout? I know, don't worry, you earned your carrots. Put the blanket on you, dry you off a bit. You got a runny nose.